plate, so I'm trying to just, I've got to do this background. So I'm going to be right back.
But we can start though while she's doing that.
You're now live on YouTube.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So hello, we are Moliere Rendezvous, part of Instant Shakespeare. And today we will be doing a reading of Moliere's Don Juan, which derives from the Spanish play The Trickster, Seville, and the Stone Guest, written in 1630 by Molina. Don Juan was performed in entirety for the first time in Paris at the Palais Royal on February 15, 1665. The script that we are using is adapted by Angus Hepburn from a literal translation. And let's introduce the guests, like the cast. All right, so Angus.
Hi, Angus Hepburn playing Sganarelle, which was originally played by Moliere himself.
Paula.
I'm Paula HOZA, and I am playing Dona Elvira.
Bill.
I am Bill, and I'm playing, let me get my list here, PIERROT, Don ALONSO, RAGOTIN, and the stone statue.
Clinton.
Hello, I'm Clinton Powell. I'm reading GUSMAN, Don Carlos, Don Luis, FRANCISQUE, and La Ramée.
And Drew.
I'm Drew Bolander, and I'll be reading Don Juan.
And Marie.
Hi, and my name is Marie, and I'm gonna read MATHURINE and the ghost at the end.
Yes.
And
I'm Simone Coonrod, the Playmaster, and I will be reading Charlotte and Nispole. Okay, so our play takes place in Sicily, Act 1 at a palace.
Ah, whatever Aristotle and all those philosophers may say, there's nothing equal to snuff. It's the passion of honest people. And whoever lives without snuff has no life at all. Not only does it delight and clear the human brain, but it also teaches the soul, so that through it, we become better people. Once we start taking snuff, the world is our friend. We offer the snuff to the right, to the left, indeed to all. We don't wait to be asked, and we rush. We eagerly anticipate their wishes. Oh, yes, it's so true that the taking of snuff inspires the takers to honor and virtue. Yeah, but enough of that. What were we talking about? Oh, yes. So, my dear Gusman, it turns out that your mistress Elvira, taken completely by surprise by our departure, has set out after us. You insist that her heart has now been completely won over by my master, so that she's incapable of living in his absence. And so she follows, desperately looking for him. But sad to say, I'm afraid she's poorly played for her love. I fear her trip to this city will produce little fruit, and that you would have gained just as much by staying where you were.
But the reason? Tell me, I beg you, Sganarelle, what has caused you to predict such a bad outcome? Did your master open his heart to you? Did he tell you of some coldness towards us which compelled him to leave?
No, I could see the way the land lay and the way things were progressing without any need for him to enlighten me. I could tell where the affair was heading. Well, I could, of course, be mistaken, but my experience of such matters tells me it's pretty clear what's going on.
What? Is it the result of an infidelity on the part of Don Juan? Is he capable of abusing the gentle heart of Donna Elvira so callously?
No, it's simply because he's still young. He doesn't have the courage to, you know.
A man of his quality guilty of such a cowardly action?
His quality? Oh, please. You think that would prevent things?
But the holy bonds of marriage surely keep him engaged.
Gusman, my dear friend, I'm afraid you have no idea what kind of man Don Juan is.
You're right. I really don't know what kind of a man he could be, that he would have treated us so cruelly. I don't understand how he could have heart to break his word. He used every lover's trick, passionate letters that presented his suit unrelentingly, praise, wishes, sighs, even tears. Did all these ardent protests, homages, wishes, sighs, and tears, heavens, even bursts of anger mean so little? Heavens, the man even broke down the door of the convent to be near her, to get Elvira in his power. And now he turns his back on her, denies her?
Well, it seems perfectly obvious to me. If you knew him better, you'd understand. Now, I'm not saying that he's changed his feelings for Elvira. I've no knowledge of that either way. You know, of course, that he ordered me to leave before him. Well, since his arrival, he's not spoken to me of the business at all. Let me warn you, in confidence, by the way, that in my master, Don Juan, you see the greatest villain that the earth has ever born, a madman, a dog, a devil, a heretic. He's as far from a Christian gentleman as you'll ever see. He behaves like a brute who shuts his ears to all pleas for Christian charity and treats everything we believe as nonsense. You tell me he married your mistress? Believe me, he would have done much more for his passion, and indeed would have even married you, a dog and a cat. A marriage contract costs him nothing. He uses no other snares to trap beautiful women. He's a no-holds-barred Lothario. Ladies, young or old, bourgeois or peasant, nothing is too hot or cold for him. And if I told you the names of all those he married in various places, we'd be here well into the night. I see you pale on hearing this, but believe me, this is only a thumbnail sketch of his character. For a full portrait, many more brushstrokes would be needed. It is enough, though, to ensure that the wrath of heaven must overwhelm him some day, and frankly, I can't wait for that day to come. It'd be better to be servant to the devil than to him. He forces me to see so many horrors that I wish he were anywhere but here. A great, noble, wicked man is a terrible thing, yet I must be faithful to him despite how I feel. My fear ties me to him, quells my misgivings, and even makes me applaud the dreadful things he does. Oh, he's coming to take a walk round the palace. We mustn't be seen together. Remember, I told you all this in confidence. I really said too much, but if he finds out what I've said to you, be assured I will swear that you were lying.
Who was that you were talking to? He looked a lot like old Gusman, Elvira's servant.
Oh, it certainly looked like him.
Yeah, of course it was him.
Well, undoubtedly.
And how long has he been here?
Since last night, I believe.
Yeah, and why has he come? What's worrying him?
Yeah, well, I'm sure you can work out what he's worried about.
Ah, our sudden departure, I suppose.
The good man's completely mortified. Wanted to know why we left in such a rush.
And what did you say to him?
That you hadn't enlightened me.
And what do you think the reason was?
Me? I assumed that some new love has replaced Elvira and your desires.
Oh, that's what you believe.
Yeah.
Well, you're not mistaken. I must confess that another passion drove Elvira from my thoughts.
Well, there you see. I know my Don Juan as well as I know my own hand. Your heart is the greatest runner in the world, never happy to be in one place too long, always dashing from passion to passion.
And what's wrong with that, may I ask?
Oh, sir.
Enough. Answer me.
Well, you are certainly right if that's what you want. I can't argue with that. But of course, if you didn't want it, well, that would tell a different story.
Come on, you have my permission to speak freely. Tell me your feelings.
In that case, sir, I will tell you frankly, I do not approve of your behavior at all. It's really not nice to keep racing wildly from love to love the way you do.
What? You want us to cling forever to the first passion that takes hold of us? To renounce the world for its sake? Never to look at anyone else? Is it truly so beautiful being stuck with the false honor of being faithful? Or burying oneself forever in a single passion, of dying, being locked away forever from all beauties that we might meet? No, no. Constancy is the stuff of bad jokes. Beautiful women have the right to charm us. And just because one came first doesn't mean she doesn't have the right to rob others of the claims that have come on our heart, that claims they have on our hearts. Beauty delights me wherever I find it, and why I should deny its charms and passions? Even though I am committed, the love I have for a beautiful woman does not entitle me to ignore all others. Rather, I acknowledge all charms, and to each I offer the homage and tribute they deserve. I cannot refuse my heart to a beautiful woman. When her beauty speaks to me, if I had 10,000 hearts, I would give them all in adoration of her. Feeling and passion grow. Is one of the great delights of life, after all, matched only by the refreshing change and variety. The exquisite delight in wooing the heart of a young beauty, watching day by day one's progress, chipping away at her barriers, weakening the innocent modesty of a soul which finds it difficult to lay down its arms, to force through, one by one, step by step, all the small resistances she engages to oppose us, to overcome the scruples protecting the idea of honor behind which she hides, and lead her, oh, so gently, where we want her. But once you have mastered her, there is nothing left to look forward to. All the beauty, the attraction of passion is finished, and we fall asleep and doze until some new object comes to awaken our desires, and a new challenge is presented. Nothing is sweeter than triumphing over the resistance of a beautiful woman, and I, like all great conquerors who race from victory to victory, will never accept limits to my desires and cannot bring themselves to limit their wishes. There is nothing that can stop the impetuosity of my desires. My heart is large enough to love the whole earth, and like Alexander, I need there to be other worlds where I can extend my amorous conquest.
My God, how you do go on. That sounds like a speech you've learned by heart. It's like a script.
What do you say to it?
Well, I have to say it. No, I don't know what to say. You twist things around so much, I could almost believe that you're right. And yet I know that you're wrong. Damn. I had a whole pile of clever comments to make, but your convoluted arguments have put them right out of my head. I'm going to have to write them all down next time so that I can dispute your wild ideas properly.
Good idea.
Yeah, but sir, please don't be angry when I say that I'm more than a little scandalized at the life you lead.
And what's wrong with the life I lead?
Oh, it's a good life. Very good. Except for your habit of getting married every month the way you do.
But it's very pleasant, you know.
Oh, true. It's very pleasant, very entertaining. And I would give it a try myself if there were no harm in it. But, sir, you're playing with a sacred mystery. And
Oh, rubbish. What's the matter between heaven and me? And that's a matter between heaven and me, and we'll sort it out between us, so don't you fuss about it.
well, sir, I have always heard that it is dangerous to make fun of heaven, and that unbelievers are liable to come to a sticky end.
Careful, sir. You know I don't care to be challenged.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about you. God forbid. I mean, you know what you're doing. And if you don't believe in anything, I'm sure you have your reasons. But there's a group of impertinent libertines in the world who believe in nothing without the least knowing why, who are incredibly conceited and think that it makes them superior. And if I had a master like that, I would say to him very clearly as I looked him in the face, do you dare to carry on like this in the eyes of heaven? And do you not tremble at the idea of making fun of the most holy mysteries? It's up to you, earthworm, little myrmidon that you are. Of course, I'm sticking to the master that I described in this. It's certainly up to you if you want to get involved in something, turning something that is revered by all into a joke. Do you think that you have status in society? A fine curled wig, feathers in your hat, a gilded coat and fiery ribbons. Remember, I'm not talking about you. It's the other man I described. Do you think, I say, that you are more intelligent, wiser, that you are permitted to behave as you wish, and that no one would dare to tell you a few home truths? Listen to me, your valet, that sooner or later heaven purchases the impious, and that a wicked life will bring a wicked death. And that...
That's enough.
What?
You should know that a beauty has captured my heart, and having been carried away by her charms, I have followed her to this city.
And you don't fear anything? Hmm? Remember the commander you killed 6 months ago in that duel? That was here.
What should I fear? I killed him. Is he not dead?
Oh, yeah, you made sure of that.
And I was pardoned for that.
Yes, but that might not necessarily eliminate the resentment of relatives and friends.
No. Let's not dwell on the unpleasant what-ifs. Let's think only of future pleasures. The woman that I told you about is a young fiancée, the most agreeable in the world, who has been brought here by the very man she has come to marry. By chance, I saw the pair of lovers 3 or 4 days before their journey. Oh, never have I seen two people so happy with each other and so much in love. The displays of affection and their mutual ardor struck me so to the heart. Oh, indeed, my love began with jealousy. Yet at first I could not bear to see them so happy together. Spite kindled my desires, and I imagined the pleasure I would get were I able to insinuate myself between them and destroy their attachment, which so offended my sensibilities. So far, however, all my efforts have proved useless, and I am forced to employ the final remedy. This would-be husband aims to delight his mistress with a sea trip today. And I won't tell you any details, but in order to satisfy my love, I have a small boat standing by in readiness to claim the beauty and carry her off.
Oh, sir.
A
good plan. After all, the only thing that matters in the world is that you get what you desire.
So get ready to come with me and make sure that you'll bring my arms so that... Damn it, blast! Donna Elvira? Disaster! You traitor! Why didn't you tell me she had come herself?
She didn't ask me.
Oh, she hasn't even changed her dress. Oh, what is she doing coming to the city in her old country clothes?
Will you do me the favor, Don Juan, to acknowledge your wife? At least have the decency to look me in the face.
Oh, madam, I confess that I'm surprised. I do not expect you here.
Yes, I can see that. I thought I'd surprise you, but in a rather more pleasant way. From your reaction, I can tell that all my fears were justified. I'm astonished at my naivete and the weakness of my heart in refusing to accept that you had betrayed me despite all appearances to the contrary. Indeed, I was good enough, or rather stupid enough, to manage to deceive myself and deny the evidence of my eyes and my good judgment. I found reasons to excuse your apparent lack of interest in me, your wife, and I imagined 100 perfectly legitimate reasons to justify your hasty departure without me and the crime of which my reason accused you. Every day, my suspicions railed at me in vain. I rejected the whispers trying to make you a criminal in my eyes, and instead I listened with pleasure to 1,000 fancies which told me you were true and innocent. I can, however, question the truth no longer, as your unwillingness to recognize me no longer allows me to doubt the evidence. The cold glance that welcomed me teaches me so many more things than I would like to know. I should be very glad, however, to hear from your own mouth the reasons for your departure. Speak, Don Juan, I beg you, and tell me how you can justify yourself.
Madam, here is Signorelle, who knows why I left.
Me, sir? I don't know. Please.
Where Sganarelle, speak. It does not matter from which mouth I hear his reasons.
Come on, tell madam the reason.
But what do you want me to say?
Come then, Sganarelle, since your master wishes it. Tell me the reasons for his sudden departure.
Why don't you tell her?
I've nothing to say. You're making a fool of me, sir.
Will you answer?
Madam.
What?
Sir?
If you...
Madam, it is because of great Alexander and the other worlds waiting to be conquered. That's the cause of our departure. That, sir, is all I can say.
Would you, Don Juan, care to clarify these mysteries for me?
Yeah, madam, to tell you the truth,
How strange that a man of the court who must be accustomed to this sort of thing is so unable to defend himself. I pity you in your confusion. Can't you even arm yourself with self-righteous effrontery? Why don't you swear to me that you still have the same feelings for me, that you still love me, and that only death could keep us apart? Why can't you tell me that it was a grave emergency that necessitated you leaving me without an explanation, that despite your love for me, you must remain here some time, but if I will only return home, you will follow me as soon as possible. Tell me that you cannot wait to rejoin me, and that when you're apart from me, you suffer the separation of a body from its soul. This is how you should defend yourself, instead of making half-hearted excuses as you have been doing.
yeah, I confess, madam, that I have no talent for lying. My nature is open and frank. I will not tell you I still have the same feelings for you and that I yearn to be with you again, since it is clear that I only left to escape from you. Not for the reasons that you can imagine, but to clear my conscience, since I do not believe I can continue to live with you without committing a moral sin. I do have some scruples, and when I examine my conscience, I realize that in order to marry you, I stole you from the cloister and made you break the solemn vows you made, which you committed you to a life devoted to God. Heaven is a very jealous mistress, and so, in fear of heaven's wrath, I repented my action. I believe that our marriage was only adultery in disguise and that it would serve to bring us only heavenly retribution. For that reason, I realized that I should try to forget you and to allow you to fulfill the oaths you gave to God. Do not believe, madam, that I should so offend heaven by forcing you to rescind your original vows and bring down the wrath of heaven on my head by this hand.
At last I see your true colors, but unfortunately for me, too late to save me from misfortune and despair. But know that your perfidy will not go unpunished, and that same heaven you play games with will avenge me.
Oh, goodness, do you hear that, Sganarelle?
As if we care about that.
Madam.
Enough! I don't want to hear anymore. In fact, I'm angry with myself for letting you go on as long as I did. Only a coward would put up with having their nose rubbed in their shame, and on being told of it, take the shamer's side. Don't expect me to waste my breath reproaching or insulting you. No, I can't spare any anger to waste on empty words. I need it all to exact my revenge. I tell you again, heaven will punish you for your perfidy, for the outrage you do me. And if you do not fear the wrath of heaven, you should at least fear the anger of a wronged woman.
Oh, he shows no remorse.
Let's return to planning our next amorous adventure.
What an abominable master. I'm obliged to serve.
Act 2, a countryside by the sea.
Mm.
By Our Lady, Pierrot, It's just as well you were there.
By my trials, they missed being drowned by a pin's width.
It must have been that gale this morning that dumped them into the sea.
Mm. Well then, Charlotte, I'll tell you all how it all happened. Like they say, as how I saw him first, and that'd be right, I did too. We were down on the shore, I mean, Big Lucas, and we were having fun fooling around, chucking clods and mud at each other's heads. Because, well, you know, Big Lucas, he likes to fool around, and so does I. So while he was messing about, I seen way out someone splashing about, heading for the shore. Then I looked again and it were gone, and I says, "Hey, Lucas, I think there's been swimming out there." And he says, "Nah." Nah, you've been looking into the sun too much. And I says, "There's muffin wrong with my eyes. There are two men out there and they're swimming towards us and want to make a bet on it." And he says, "Nah, you're seeing things." And I says, "Right, 10 sous. I'm not seeing things." And I pulled out my 10 sous and he matches it. And then we look again, and sure enough, he says, "No, they lost me 10 sous. They lost me 10 sous." And I got so cross, and I scolded him that much that he come along, and he got a boat and from the shore, and we rowed out there and pulled him out of the water. Yeah. And we got back, we took him to our place, set him down by the fire, and then stripped to dry. Then two more turned up and got it themselves to dry land. And if that weren't enough, Mathurine turns up and starts making sheep's eyes at her. And that's it, Charlotte. That's what happened.
Didn't you say, Pierrot, that there was one that was very well made, better than the others?
Well, let me think about that for a minute here while I find myself what I'm supposed to say to you here. Well, hang on there, Charlotte. I got something else to say to you. Well, let me go ahead and say it. Wait, where am I? Hold on there. Hold your horses there, Charlotte, because this is really important stuff I need to tell you. This is really important stuff I need to tell you, because my eyes are playing games on me here. Let's see, where are we? I said this, and then I go on to say something else to you, which I'm supposed to say here. Yes! That were the master. He must be a great gentleman, for he has gold in his coat all the way from top to bottom, and those who serve him are all gentlemen themselves. But for all they be gentlemen, they be drowned if I hadn't have been there.
Well, I never.
I tell you, they have been goners if we hadn't been by.
Is he still at yours, naked, Pierrot?
Nah, they dressed him right in front of us, my lord. I never seen the like. Goodness, I never seen one of them get dressed before. What a performance these gentlemen and courtiers do make of it. And they got all lost and all that stuff right in front of me. They dressed them, and I didn't know where to look. They has hairs and ain't stuck. They has hair that ain't stuck in theirs heads. They pulls it on like a hat, like a big fuzzy cap, and they have shirts with sleeves and that thing, you know, that we could both. There's so much that we could both fit in it. Instead of breeches, they have a big flap of cloth, big as from here to Easter, and then instead of a doublet, they has little vests with short little sleeves, and they barely covers their tummy button. Instead of a collar, they had a big neckerchief with tassels hanging down over their stomach. They got like little fancy cuffs around their wrists and big frilly ones around their ankles. Not to mention ribbons, too many to count. And my goodness, their shoes covered with so much frippery and stuff that they was mine. I'd be tripping over my feet all day and likely breaking my neck.
That I need to see, Pierrot.
Hang on, Charlotte. I got something else to say to you.
Oh, well, come on, get out with it.
Oh, see, Charlotte, it's like this. I love you, Charlotte, but girl, as you well knows, and I, as far as being married, but I ain't happy with you.
How come?
How? well, I'll tell you. That bee that you's bothering me.
What? How that then?
Well, let me tell you here, because I'm really having a problem talking to you right now. But I got to get myself a different way of talking to you here. So hold on a second there, Charlotte. Just hold on right there, Charlotte, because this is something I got to tell you. You see, Charlotte, it's like this. I already told you that. Well, you see, Charlotte, because you don't love me. You hear that, Charlotte? Did you hear that, Charlotte?
She looks frozen.
Oh, it's not me. Okay.
No, it's not you. You're all right.
What happened to my face? Is there something weird? Is there something strange going on here?
Yeah. Your face has now got the background, and the background has got, it's weird. So in the middle of your face, we have, oh, there you go.
That's the late technology. I gotta give myself a different script here, sir.
Okay.
But anyways, hey, you want to play Charlotte with me? Oh no, not again.
Should I read?
Well, Mathurin, until we get my real love back, why don't I use you like Don Juan here? Anyway.
Because you don't
Yes.
love me. That's where you were, right?
Yeah.
Is that all?
Yes, indeed, be all. And ain't that enough?
Lordy, Peierrot, you always tell me the same thing.
I always tell you the same thing because it is all, alas, the same thing. And if it weren't, alas, the same thing, I wouldn't, alas, tell you it.
But what do you need? What do you want me to do?
Bloody hell, I want you to love me.
Don't I love you?
No, you don't. I do everything I can for you. I never complains. And when you needs me to buy your ribbons from every peddler that comes through, I near break my neck trying to catch blackbirds for you. And I make the old folks play for you when it's your birthday and all that. But it's like banging my head against a wall. Do you see? It ain't fair. It ain't fair that I love you.
But I do love you too.
Well, yeah, that's a funny way of showing it.
So what do you want us to do?
I want you to do what folks do when they loves properly.
Don't I love you properly?
No, when you does it shows. You plays a 1,000 little tricks on people when you loves them properly. Look at Fat Thomas. How she's chasing young Robin when she's always around him, annoying him, and never lets him rest. She's always messing for him about, giving him a quick thump as she passes him. The other day he was sitting down and she pulled the stool out from under him, ended up flat on the ground. He did, and now that's how people love properly, carry on. Who love properly, that's the way they carry on. But you never say a word to me. You could be a lump of wood, and I could walk past you 20 times and you'd never thump me once or say anything to me. That it's not good, I tell you. You're just cold.
What do you want me to do about it? I do love you, and properly too, but I can't change my nature.
Maybe, but when you're friends, when you're friends, you got to show it at least a little.
Look, I love you as much as I can. And if you're not satisfied with that, you'll just have to find someone else to love you.
Well,
I'm back.
Well, it's about time. You're going to think I was two-timing you. Well, listen to me. Well, there isn't. Well, there it is. There it is. Ain't. Well, there it is. Ain't it? Huh? If you loved me properly, would you say something like that to me?
Just take over, Simone.
Yes. Could you say that line again? Because
Listen to me carefully now. Listen to me carefully now. Well, if you loved me properly, would you say something like that to me?
If I loved you properly, don't I love you properly?
Well, oh,
Know when you does, it shows. Do that speech again, the big one. The fat Thomas one.
all right, let me start from the top over here. No, when you does it, when you does it shows. You always play 1,000 little tricks on people when you loves them properly. Look at Pat Tomas. How she's chasing young Robin. She's always around him, annoying him, never lets him rest. She's always messing him about, giving him a quick thump as she passes him. The other day, he was sitting down and she pulled the stool out from under him. And the flat on the ground he did. Now that's how people who love properly carry on. But you never say a word to me. You could be a lump of wood. And I could walk right past you 20 times and you never thump me once or say anything to me. It's not good, I tell you. You're just cold.
Well, what do you want me to do about it? I do love you properly and properly too, but I can't change my nature.
Maybe when you're friends, you got to show it at least a little.
Look, I love you just as much as I can. And if you're not satisfied with that, you'll just have to find someone else to love.
Well, there it is, ain't it, huh? If you love me properly, would you say something like that to me?
Why do you want to come and torment me so?
Damn it, what harm am I doing to you? I'm only asking you for a little friendship.
Oh, give it a rest and stop pushing so hard. Maybe if it comes all of a sudden when you're not thinking about it.
Were you shaking it, Charlotte?
All right then, give me your hand.
So promise me that you'll try to love me more.
I'll do all I can, but it must come by itself. Whoa, Pierrot, is that the gentleman?
That be him.
Oh my, he's a looker.
What?
It would have
my
been a
Lord.
real pity if he had been drowned.
I'll be right back. I'm off for a pint. I need something to cheer myself up. I'm exhausted after all this.
We missed our chance, Sganarelle. This squall came out of nowhere and wrecked the plan we had used to use our boat. But to tell you the truth, the peasant woman whom I have just left more than makes up for this misfortune. Her charms erase all disappointment from my mind and more than compensate for the failure of our original enterprise. I cannot let her escape me, and indeed I have already taken steps to ensure that my sighs will not be in vain for long.
Sir, you continue to astonish me. No sooner have we escaped from the jaws of death than, instead of giving thanks to heaven for our survival, you are once again tempting Providence by turning your usual fancies and manipulation on another potential lover. I don't... Pause, peace, you fool. What are you saying? Sir knows what he's doing. Let go.
Aha! Look at her, Sganarelle. Have you seen anything prettier? She's prettier than the other one, don't you think?
Oh, assuredly. Oh, another exploit on the way.
Where do you come from, my beauty? Such a delight, such a joy, and indeed a surprise to find beauties like you hidden amongst all these trees and rocks.
I am, sir.
Are you from this village?
Yes, sir.
And you live over there?
Sir.
What is your name, child?
Charlotte, sir, at your service.
Ah, what a beautiful creature. And your eyes.
Sir, you make me feel ashamed.
Oh, never feel ashamed of the truth, my child. Sganarelle, tell me, have you ever seen such a beautiful young woman? Turn around, my child. Ah, what a delightful figure. Raise your head just a little, if you would please. Ah, such a charming face. Open your eyes fully. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Delightful. Let me see your teeth for a moment. Ah, they fit to perfection, and those Appetizing lips. You are a delight, my child, perfect in every way.
Sir, I hope you're not trying to make fun of me.
Me make fun of you? God forbid. I love you too much for that. I assure you that I speak nothing but the truth.
I'm obliged much to you, sir, if you are indeed being honest.
But of course, my child, and if I embarrass you, blame your beauty, for it is that urges me on.
Oh, sir, I don't know what to say. I doesn't have the wit to answer you.
Oh, Sganarelle, take a look at her hands.
Look at that grimy, sir. They're covered in dirt.
Ah, what are you saying? They are the most beautiful hands in the world. Allow me to kiss them, I beg you.
Monsieur, you does me too much honor. If I had known in advance what you would say, I would have scrubbed my hands with bran.
Tell me, my child, are you married?
No, sir, but I am betrothed to Pierrot, the son of our neighbor Simonette.
Oh, what? A beauty like you is to be the wife of a simple peasant. No, no, it's obscene. Such a beauty was not born to live in a village. You are destined for greater things. Heaven understands and has brought me here with the express aim of preventing this marriage. I will do justice to your charms. Believe me, dearest Charlotte, I love you with all my heart, and I only need you to say the magic word yes, and I will tear you from this miserable place and give you the life that your beauty deserves. I understand that this love appears to you very sudden, but my dearest Charlotte, because of your great beauty, you are loved as much in a quarter of an hour as another would have been loved in 6 months.
Oh, sir, I doesn't know what to do when you talks like that. What you say makes me so happy. And I would have all the joy in the world if I could truly believe you. But I have been told that gentlemen must never be believed, that courtiers think only of deceiving young girls like me.
Oh, I am not one of those people.
Yeah, God, he really doesn't give a shit.
But, sir, I's a poor peasant. Don't you see, sir? There's no pleasure in being deceived. I do have a little self-respect, and I tells you true that I'd rather see myself dead than dishonored.
You think me so despicable that my soul would be so wicked as to try to deceive someone like you? That I am cowardly enough to dishonor you? No, no, my beauty. I love you, Charlotte, and in all honor, I tell you the truth. My beauty, know that I have no other design than to marry you. Do you need more proof? Here, I am ready when you want. Look to this man to my witness and pledge that I give you.
No, don't be afraid. He will marry you for just as long as you want.
Ah, Charlotte, I can see you don't know me yet. You do me a great wrong by judging me by others. I have heard that there are cheats in the world who seek only to abuse young women. But I beg you, do not include me in that number. Do not question the sincerity of my faith. You should rely on your beauty to protect you. Let me tell you, I would pierce my heart with 1,000 spears if I had the slightest thought of betraying you.
Dear God, I doesn't know whether you're telling the truth or not. But oh, you makes me believe you.
Oh, when you believe me, you will certainly do me justice. And I tell you again, believe the promise I made you. Do you accept it or no? Will you consent to be my wife?
Yes, as long as my aunt agrees.
Of course, but will you agree, my beauty?
But please, sir, don't you deceive me. Let your conscience guide you.
Do you still doubt my sincerity, my child? If it will reassure you, I will swear dreadful oaths on your beauty. May the Lord of heaven strike me down.
God, don't swear. I believed you.
So then, a little kiss as a token of your word?
Oh, sir, wait till we be married. I begs you. After that, you can have every part of me as often as you wish.
Of course, my lovely child, I want everything that you want. Only for now, give me your hand, and let me show you with 1,000 kisses the joy I feel all over.
Hey, hold up, you. Just back off. Cool your passion, or maybe you'll burst into flames.
Keep your nose out of this. Who do you think you are?
Keep your hands up to yourself and no more groping our women.
You are making a fuss over nothing.
What do you think? I'm a doing pushing people around. Charlotte,
Will you stop pushing him too, Pierrot?
leave him alone. I'll fix him.
Oh,
What do you think? Just because you gentlemen, you can come here and seduce our women right in front of our faces, go and grope your own kind.
watch it, you.
Don't you it to me. Oh, stop it. Oh, God's blood. It ain't right to beat people like this. This is the reward I get for saving you from drowning.
Pierrot, calm down.
I'll not calm down. And you're a villain, you are, to let him touch you like that.
Oh, Pierrot, it isn't what you think. This gent wants to marry me. You mustn't get angry.
What? Damn it. Your promise to me.
But Pierrot, if you really loves me, won't you be happy to see me become a lady?
No way. I'd rather see you dead than see you with someone else.
Don't be silly, Pierrot. Don't worry. If I'm a lady, I'll be able to help you. We'll buy all our butter and cheese from you.
But oh, what are you saying? Oh, hold on a second there. I gotta think this over for a second here. Not a chance. Not even if you pay me double. Are you falling for all that rubbish? If I'd have known what he was up to earlier, I sure as hell wouldn't have pulled him out of the water. I'd have bashed him on the head with the oar.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is piss off. You don't scare me.
Oh, wait till I get my hands on you.
Oh, yeah, you can't catch me.
Oh, we'll see about that.
I've seen enough already.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have.
Hey, sir, leave that poor wretch alone. I mean, you really shouldn't hit him. Listen, lad, you best get out of here and don't talk to him.
Well, I have things to say to him.
Oh, I'll teach you.
Oh, damn the boy.
And that's what being a kind gets you.
I'm gonna tell your aunt just what's been happening on, what's been going on here.
At last, I will be the happiest of all men and wouldn't exchange my happiness for anything in the world. What pleasure it will be when you are my wife.
Oh, no.
What are you doing here with that young woman? Are you courting her as well?
Not at all. It's she who's claimed that she wants to marry me, but I told her I was engaged to you.
Mathurin wants with you.
Yeah, well, she is jealous to see me talking to you and wants me to marry her, but I've told her it's you I want.
What? Charlotte?
Oh, there's nothing you can say to her. She's fixated.
What do you mean? Mathurin?
Oh, you're wasting your time trying to talk to her. You'll never get this. She'll never get this idea out of your head. Oh, she'll never listen to reason. Oh, she's an obstinate as any devil.
Really?
Don't say anything to her. She's crazy.
thinks that,
I'll leave it there. She is out of her mind.
No, I have to talk to her.
I wants to hear what she says.
What?
I bet she'll tell you that I promised to marry her. What will you do? What will you bet that she will claim I have ever my word to marry her?
Charlotte, it's not fair to poach other people's game.
No right to be jealous, Mathurin, just because this gentleman speaks to me.
He saw me first.
May have seen you first, but he saw me second and promised to marry me.
Well, what did I tell you?
Oh, really? Let me tell you, it is me and not you that he has promised to marry.
I told you so.
Ridiculous. It's me he's promised to marry.
It's a joke. I tell you again, it's me.
He's right here and he'll confirm that I'm right.
He would never contradict me.
Did you promise to marry her, sir?
You are being ridiculous.
Is it true that you gave your word to marry her?
How can you think it?
She's so sure of herself.
Oh, leave her to her illusions.
She's sticking to her story.
Oh, just let her have what she wants.
I must know the truth.
It must be settled, one way or the other.
Yes, Mathurin. I want the gentleman to show you how simple you are.
Indeed, Charlotte. I want the gentleman to show you how stupid you are.
Oh, please settle our disagreement, sir.
Yes, settle it, sir.
Now you'll see.
On the contrary, it is you who will see.
Tell her.
Tell her.
What do you want me to say? You both maintain that I promised to marry you. Surely it's enough that each of you knows the truth without me having to explain the situation further. Why must I repeat it? Doesn't the one whom I have promised have enough certainty to make fun of the other's claim? After all, as long as I fulfill my promise, why need she be concerned? More talk won't achieve anything. Actions speak louder than words. So you need to accept that and let time reveal when I marry which of you truly has my heart. Let her believe what she wants. Let her enjoy her fancies. I adore you. I am yours. None can match your beauty. None can compare to you. I have some business to deal with. I'll come and see you in a quarter of an hour.
Obviously, I'm the one he loves.
I'm the one he will marry.
Oh, you poor things. I pity your innocence, and I can't bear to see you run into disaster. Believe both of you, don't fall for all these fanciful tales. Stay in your village.
Why doesn't Sganarelle follow me?
My master is a cheat. He only intends to deceive you as he deceived so many others. He wants to marry the entire human race, and that's not true. And whoever tells you that, you can call him a liar. My master doesn't want to marry the entire human race. He's not deceitful. He's no intentions of deceiving you, and he's not deceived others. Oh, look, here he is. Just ask him yourself.
Well, what is it?
Sir, as the world is full of gossips, I took the liberty of warning the ladies that if they heard anyone speaking ill of you, they are not to believe them and call them out as liars.
Sganarelle.
Oh, yes, my master is a man of honor. I guarantee that. So don't trust anyone who says differently.
Sir, I come to warn you that you are taking a risk being here.
How?
12 men on horseback are looking for you. They'll be here any moment. I've no idea how they could have followed you. They interrogated a peasant and described you to him and then went off searching. The sooner you can get away from here, the better.
A pressing matter obliges me to leave you for the moment, but I beg you to remember the promise that I made you and trust that you will hear from me before tomorrow evening. Clearly, we are seriously outnumbered, so we will have to adopt a subterfuge to evade these men and whatever plans they have for me. Sganarelle, we must exchange clothes, and then I can...
Sir, you're kidding. You want to let me be killed wearing your clothes just so that you can go up and...
Oh, come on, Sganarelle, think of the honor. You should be pleased to have such a chance for the glory by dying for your master.
Oh, thank you for bestowing such an honor on me. Dear God, if death is out hunting, don't let me be mistaken for my master.
Act 3, a forest.
Well, now, sir, you see, I was right. These are much better disguises and they hide both of us. Your idea to simply switch clothes was positively dangerous.
Ah, you're right, of course. But where on earth did you dig up this ridiculous outfit?
It's an old doctor's coat, which had been left in a pawn shop. Cost me hard cash to get it too, but it's already paid me back. People greet me like a clever man, as if they've come to consult me for my wisdom.
You must be joking.
Oh, really? 5 or 6 peasant men and women came up to me to ask my opinion on various illnesses.
Did you tell them that you didn't know anything?
Me? Of course not. I had, after all, to uphold the status of my outfit. I commented on their ailments and gave them all prescriptions for their conditions.
What on earth did you prescribe?
Well, I made it up, really, as I went along. I wrote down whatever came into my head. Wouldn't it be nice if they were actually cured and came to thank me?
Oh, well, why not? Why shouldn't you have the same success as all the other doctors?
Yeah.
They have no more ability than you to cure the sick. Their so-called art is pure sham. All they do is cash in on the results of a few happy successes. No reason why you shouldn't profit like them from the delight of the patients as they attribute the actions of luck and natural healing to your skill and remedies.
You have a very low opinion of the medical profession.
Oh, they constitute one of man's great delusions.
What? You don't believe in senna or cassia or emetic wine?
Oh, and why would I believe in them?
God, you're suspicious. I mean, we've seen for ages now that emetic wine works wonders, and its successes has convinced the most skeptical of souls. Yet why, only 3 weeks ago, I myself witnessed its marvelous restorative effects.
What?
Well, there was a man who'd been in agony for 6 days. All the remedies prescribed did nothing. In the end, it was decided to give an emetic.
He recovered, did he?
No, he died.
What an admirable restorative.
Well, of course. For 6 whole days, he suffered agony, but was unable to die. 1 dose of the emetic released him. You can't get much more effective than that.
True.
Yeah, but let's leave medicine for the moment, since you don't believe in it, and talk about other things. For this coat has given me wit, and I feel the mood to argue with you. You remember you allow me to do that. It's only outright criticism that I'm not allowed.
Yeah, right. All right, go ahead.
I want to know what you really think. Is it possible you don't believe in heaven at all?
Keep away from that topic.
Which is to say that you don't. And what about hell?
Enough.
So again, you don't. And the devil?
Well, of course.
Oh, well, that's something. Don't you believe in the afterlife then? Oh, so a challenge. Here is a man whom I shall have great difficulty in converting. So tell me, what about the ghost monk that beats up people in the street? What about him, eh?
Oh, idiot.
You see, now that's what I don't get. For there is nothing truer than the ghost monk. I bet my life on it. Oh, never mind. But you have to believe in something in the world. So what do you believe?
What do I believe?
Yeah.
I believe 2 and 2 are 4, Sganarelle, and 4 and 4 are 8.
Oh, beautiful belief and beautiful articles of faith. So your religion, I see, is arithmetic. I have to admit, men get some funny ideas into their heads, and those that have studied the most are often the most foolish. As for me, sir, I haven't studied like you, thank God, and no one can boast of ever having taught me anything. But with my little common sense, my little judgment, I see things better than books can tell me. And I can see that the world around us didn't just sprout into being overnight like a mushroom. I would ask you, who made those trees, those rocks, that earth and that sky up there? Or did it all suddenly build itself? Here you are, for example. Have you done everything by yourself? Didn't your father have to impregnate your mother to make you? Don't you admire all the components of the machine that isn't man, all carefully integrated together to make the whole? These nerves, these bones, these veins, these arteries, this lung, this heart, the liver, and all the other ingredients which are combined here, and which, oh, lady, interrupt me for God's sake. I cannot argue unless I'm interrupted. You're keeping silent on purpose, letting me ramble on out of sheer malice.
I am waiting for you to finish your argument.
The argument is that there is something admirable in man, whatever you say that scholars can't completely explain. Isn't it a wonder that I'm here and I've got something in my head that thinks 100 different things at once, and at the same time can do whatever it wants with my body? If I want to clap my hands, raise my arm, raise my eyes to heaven, lower my head, shuffle my feet, go right, left, forward, backward, turn. Yeah, oh.
Good, there's your argument, which leads you to a broken nose.
Oh, forget it. I'm wasting my time trying to reason with you. Believe what you will. It doesn't matter to me that you're damned.
Oh, good. But with all this arguing, I believe that we have lost our way. Call that man over there and ask him the way.
Hello, you there? A word, please, friend. Can you tell us the way to the city?
You have only to follow the road, gentlemen, and turn right when you're at the end of the forest. But I warn you that you should be on your guard. There are thieves around here.
Oh, I'm obliged to you, my friend, and thank you with all my heart.
Could you then help me, sir, with some alms?
Aha, your help has a price, I see.
I am a poor man, sir, retired all alone into this world for the past 10 years. If you could help me, I will be sure to pray to heaven for it, to give you all kinds of gifts.
Well, why not pray to heaven to give yourself a coat? Then you wouldn't have to bother other people begging.
You don't know the good sir. He only believes in 2 and 2 being 4, and 4 and 4 being 8.
What do you do out here in the forest?
I pray to heaven all day for the prosperity of good people who give me alms.
So you must be quite comfortable then with all these alms.
Alas, no, sir. I am indeed in greater need than you can imagine.
Oh, you jest, surely. After all, a man who prays to heaven all day long cannot fail to do well in life.
I assure you, sir, that more often than not, I have not a piece of bread to put in my mouth.
How strange, then, that you are so very poorly rewarded for your prayers. I tell you what, I will give you a piece of gold, provided that you will utter a blasphemy.
Ah, sir, you would have me commit such a sin?
Only if you want this piece of gold. It's yours if you will only utter one blasphemous word.
But sir.
Sorry, no blasphemy, no gold.
Oh, go on, friend. Just a little one. Couldn't hurt.
Come on, here it is. Just blaspheme once and it's yours.
No, sir, I'd rather starve.
Oh, all right, you win. I'll give it to you for your love of humanity. Hey, what's that? A man being attacked by 3 ruffians? That game is too unequal. I won't allow that.
Oh, my master's gone mad. Getting involved in a fight that's not his concern, throwing himself into danger for no reason. Oh, but look, my goodness. His helpers won the day, and the two have forced the three to flee.
The courage of your arm, sir, has driven these thieves to flight. I beg, sir, that you will accept my heartfelt gratitude for such a selfless act, and that
No, there was nothing, sir, nothing that you would not have done in my place. Our honor demands that we engage thus, and the action of those rascals was so cowardly that if I had not intervened, I would have, in effect, been endorsing their behavior. But tell me, sir, how did you find yourself to be in this predicament?
I was traveling with my brother and some others of his group, and by chance strayed from them. As I tried to rejoin them, I was set upon by thieves who first killed my horse, and who, without your bravery, would have done the same to me.
Is your intention to go to the town?
Yes, indeed, towards it, but not to enter. You see, my brother and I became involved in one of those unfortunate affairs which result in gentlemen being required to sacrifice themselves and their family to the demands of their honor. Regrettably, in such instances, the sweetest success is always fatal, and as a result, if one does not quit life, one is forced to quit the kingdom. I thus find myself to be an unhappy gentleman, unhappy for not being able to avail himself of all the prudence and all the honesty of his conduct, of being enslaved by the laws of honor to the disorder of the conduct of others, and to see his life, his family, and his goods depend on the fancy of the first daring person who will take it into his head to insult him with one of those insults for which an honest man must perish.
We have this advantage. We run the same risk and also waste time battling on those who take it into their heads to come and offend us out of sheer merriment. But wouldn't it be an indiscretion to ask you what your business may be?
I make no secret of it. An insult has been made, and our honor will not let us hide our shame. Rather, it demands that we seek our revenge, and even to publish the insult for all to hear. You will understand, sir, when I tell you that the offense we seek to avenge was committed by a man who seduced and kidnapped a nun, our sister, from a convent, and that the author of this offense is one Don Juan Tenorio, son of Don Luis Tenorio. We have been looking for him for several days, and we followed him this morning on the report of a valet who told us that he was going out on horseback, accompanied by 4 or 5, and that he had headed along this coast. But alas, all our efforts were to no avail. We were unable to discover what had become of him.
Do you know him, sir, this Don Juan of whom you speak?
No, I have never met him. I have only heard reports of him from my brother, but stories of him tell he is a man whose life...
Oh, stop, sir, please. He is something of a friend of mine, and it would pain me to hear ill of him.
Because of my gratitude to you, sir, I will say no more about it. I owe that, at least since you saved my life, I must be silent in front of you about a person whom you know, since were I to speak of him, I would only destroy his character and reputation. But I must say, sir, that however friendly you are with him, I dare to hope that you will not approve of his actions, and that you would not find it strange that we should seek revenge for his actions.
On the contrary, I must endorse your actions. I am Don Juan's friend, I can't help it. But it is not reasonable for him to offend gentlemen with impunity, and I undertake to make it right for you.
But how could he atone for these insults?
However your honor wishes. Let me save you the trouble of looking for Don Juan any longer. I will undertake to have him found and delivered to you wherever you want and whenever you please for you to enact your revenge.
This gives me great hope, but considering the debt I owe you, it would be too painful for me if I dragged you into my troubles.
I must confess to you, sir, that I'm so attached to Don Juan that I could not leave him to fight for his honor without me standing by his side. I must share in his defense and answer for it as if for myself. But I must assure you that you have only to say when you wish him to appear and give you satisfaction, and I will ensure it happens.
How cruel is my destiny. Must I owe you my life and Don Juan be one of your friends?
Let my horses drink there and let them be brought after us. I want to talk. I want to walk a bit. Oh, heaven. What do I see here, my brother? And are you here with our mortal enemy?
Our mortal enemy?
Yes.
I am Don Juan myself. And even your advantage in numbers will not compel me to want to disguise my name.
Ah, traitor, you must perish and...
No, my brother, stop. I owe him my life, and for the help of his arm, I would have been killed by thieves who attacked me.
And that should deny us avenging our sister. All the services that an enemy hand renders do not override the obligations of family, and balancing your obligation against the mortal insult, my brother, your gratitude loses. Family honor is infinitely more precious than life. It gives more weight to your obligation than to the life that honors has taken away from us.
I know the difference, my brother. A gentleman must always weigh the balance between the one and the other, and the recognition of the obligation does not erase in me the resentment of the cruel injury, but allow me first to repay my obligation to him by immediately acquitting myself of the life that I owe him, by delaying our vengeance, and leave him the freedom to enjoy for at least a few days the fruit of his benefaction.
No. No. No, we must act now. The opportunity for vengeance may not return. We must grasp the chance while we have it. Our honor is mortally wounded, and we must not put off exacting our revenge. If you are reluctant to lend your arm to this action, you have only to retire and leave the glory of avenging our sister to me.
Please, my brother.
Enough! No excuses. He must die.
Stop. I tell you, my brother, I will not suffer him to live for long, but I swear to heaven that I will defend him here against who attacks him now. I will stand between him and all comers, and to reach him, you will have to go through me.
What? You would take your enemy's side against me? Instead of endorsing the duty to family that we, in honor, must feel, you wish to protect him and keep him safe?
My brother, let us show the moderation of legitimate actions and not avenge our honor with such an outburst of violence. Let us control our anger and be the masters of our fury. We should deal with him by legal means which have nothing savage about them, and which show that we have not given in to blind anger, but rather used the pure deliberation of our reason. I do not want my brother to remain indebted to my enemy, but I have an obligation to him which I must discharge before anything else. Our revenge, though deferred, will be nonetheless complete. On the contrary, it will benefit from the delay, and our actions will be seen to have been fairer in the eyes of everyone.
Oh, the strange weakness and the appalling blindness to thus risk the interests of one's honor for such a ridiculous chance.
Fear not, my brother. If I make a mistake, I will simply repair it. I will protect our honor. I know what he owes us, and postponing our revenge for a day, with which my obligation to him demands, will only increase the passion I have to make him pay the debt he owes us. Don Juan, you see that I am careful to give you back the good that I have received from you, and you must judge the rest by that. Believe that I am fulfilling what I owe, but that I will be no less exact in repaying you for the injury you have done to our sister. I won't demand here and now that you try to justify your behavior, but I advise you to think long and hard about your behavior and its consequences. You are well aware of the magnitude of the offense you have done us, and I will make you judge for yourself what reparations it demands. There are gentle means to satisfy us, and there are violent and bloody ones. But anyway, whatever choice you make, you must give me your word to make right by us. Think about doing it for me, I beg you, and remember that I can accept nothing less to assuage my honor.
I demanded.
I have demanded nothing of you and will keep to what I promised.
My brother, a moment of mildness does no injury to the severity of our duty.
Hello? Hey, SGANARELLE.
Here, sir.
Rascal, you run and hide when I'm attacked.
Pardon me, sir. I just went round the corner. I think this outfit must act as a purgative, and that wearing it is as good as taking a laxative.
Plague be. At least you could have come up with a better story to cover your cowardice. Do you know who those fellows were do you know who the fellow whose life I save is?
He? No.
He's Elvira's brother.
A brother?
He's a decent fellow and behaved honestly. It's a shame I'm going to have to fight with him.
It would be easy for you to pacify him.
Yes, but my passion for Donna Elvira is long gone, and I now have no wish to be tied to her. I love freedom in love. You know that, and I cannot bear to confine my heart within its four walls. I've told you countless times, I simply follow whatever attracts me. My heart belongs to all the beauties, and it is up to them to take their turn with it and to keep it as long as they can. But what is that superb edifice that I see between these trees?
You don't know?
No, really.
It's the tomb made for the commander that you killed. He had left detailed instructions in his will.
Ah, you're right. I didn't know he came from around here. Everybody has told me of the marvels of his work as well as of the statue of the commander, and I want to go and see it.
Oh, sir, don't go there.
Why not?
Is it really appropriate to visit the monument to a man you killed?
Of course it is. I want to show him respect. If he is an honorable man, he would appreciate it. Come, let's go inside.
Oh, magnificent. Look at all the beautiful statues. Wonderful marble. The pillars. Beautiful. Don't you think so?
The ambition of a dead man could not go further. I find it astonishing that a man who spent his life in a fairly simple home would want to have such a magnificent one after his death.
Oh, there's the statue of the commander.
Oh, look at him, done up as a Roman emperor.
Isn't it grand, sir? Oh, it looks like he's alive and he's about to talk to us. That look he's throwing at us would scare me if I wasn't alone. I don't think he's happy to see us.
I don't see why not. It would be wrong to reject the honor that I do him. Ask him if he wants to come to dinner with me.
I think that invitation's a bit late.
Ask him, I tell you.
You kidding? Be crazy to talk to a statue.
Do what I tell you.
Oh, God, you're just weird. Lord Commander. Oh, this is idiotic. But my master insists I do it. Lord Commander, my master, Don Juan, asks you if you will do the honor of coming to supper with him. Yeah.
What is it? What happened? Come on, tell me.
The statue.
What do you mean, you idiot?
Well, the statue.
What about the statue? Talk or you'll get thumped.
The statue beckoned me.
Oh, plague on you, rascal.
I tell you, made a sign to me. That's the absolute truth. Go and talk to him yourselves to see. Perhaps you...
Oh, come, you rascal. I'll show you what a coward you are. I will talk to the statue. Will the Lord Commander come and dine with me?
I'd have given 10 pistoles to see that. Well, sir, what do you say now?
Dear God. Come on, let's get out of here.
Where are your skeptics, sir? All the disbelievers now?
Act 4, Don Juan's apartment.
Anyway, let's leave it, whatever it was. It's of no matter. And anyway, it may have just been a trick of the light, or we can have been overcome by the fumes of the crypt and imagined it all.
Now, sir, don't try to deny what we've seen with our own eyes. That knot was absolutely real. We both saw it. I believe that heaven, scandalized by your life, has produced this miracle to convince you that you should mend your ways and stop getting involved with...
Listen to me. If you bother me any more with your stupid morality, the slightest word to me about it, I will get myself a stick and I will have you held down and beaten with an inch of your life. Do you hear?
All very loud. Very well, sir. Loud and clear. You explain yourself quite clearly. It's one of your strongest points. You don't beat around the bush. You just come out and say it.
Enough. Get me supper as soon as possible. And a chair, boy.
Monsieur, that merchant, Monsieur Dimanche, is asking to speak to you.
Oh, that's all we need. A creditor bothering us for money. Oh, just go and tell him Monsieur isn't here.
I did 3/4 of an hour ago, but he wouldn't believe me. He sat in there to wait.
In that case, let him wait as long as he wants.
On the contrary, let him in. It is very good policy to hide from creditors. It is good to pay them something. And I have a secret of sending them away satisfied without having given them any money. Ah, Monsieur Dimanche, come in, please. Ah, how delightful to see you. I must apologize for my people not letting you in. I have given orders that I was not speaking to anyone, but of course, that order did not include you. No, my friend, you will never find a closed door at my house.
Dimanche.
Yeah, is anyone Dimanche? Okay. Sir, I am much obliged to you.
Oh, you rascals! I'll teach you to leave Monsieur Dimanche in the antechamber. Yeah, you need to learn who the important people are.
Sir, that's nothing.
Nonsense. To tell you that I am not here, Monsieur Dimanche, the best of my friends.
Sir, I am your servant. I had come.
Come now, quickly. A seat for Monsieur Dimanche.
I'm fine as I am, sir.
Never, you must sit next to me.
That is not necessary.
Take away that folding chair at once. Bring me an armchair.
Sir, you are making fun and...
I know what I owe you, and I don't want any distinction to be made between us.
Sir.
Now, sit down.
There is no need, sir, and I have only one word to say to you.
Sit here, I tell you. There.
No, sir, I'm fine. I'm coming for the...
No, I am not listening to you if you are not seated.
Sir, I will do what you want. I will...
Now, Monsieur Dimanche, are you well?
Yes, sir. You see, I'm really doing you a favor. I came to see...
You have a ruddy complexion, lively eyes.
I would like...
Oh, and how is Madame Dimanche, your wife?
Very well, sir. Thank you.
She's a fine woman.
She is your servant, sir. Now, I came...
Granddaughter Claudine, how is she doing?
The best in the world.
Oh, what a pretty little girl she is. I love her as my own.
You do her so much honor, sir. I wanted to say...
Does he still make a lot of noise with his drum?
Still the same, sir.
Uh-huh.
Does
your little brusque dog always growl just as loudly? And does he still bite the people who come into your house?
More than ever, sir. And we can't stop him. But how?
Be surprised that I know so much about your family. It's simply that I take a great interest in it.
We're infinitely obliged to you, sir. I
must shake your hand, Monsieur Demanche. You are, after all, one of my dearest friends.
Sir, I am your servant.
Delightful, and I am yours with all my heart.
You honor me too much. I
do for you.
Sir, you are too kind to me.
Oh, it's nothing more than you deserve, I assure you.
I have done nothing to deserve this generosity, I assure you, sir, but...
Oh, Monsieur Demanche, a more deserving man I couldn't hope to meet. Come, sir, will you stay and have supper with me?
No, sir, I must return home presently.
You said me. Come quickly, then. A torch, and lead Monsieur Demanche home, and let 4 or 5 of my people escort him.
Sir, it is not necessary, and I will be fine on my own, but...
Sense! You must be escorted safely. I would not be too concerned. I would be too concerned else. I am your servant, and moreover, your debtor.
Sir.
I am proud of it. I tell everyone.
Would
you prefer that I drove you back in my carriage?
Sir, you surely jest. Sir.
So, my friend, embrace me once more. I beg you to believe that I am all yours, and that there is nothing in the world that I would not do for your service.
Now, you must admit that my master really likes you and has your best interests at heart.
It is true. He showers me with so many compliments that I would never know how to ask him for money.
I assure you that all his household would perish for you. And if ever anything should happen to you, if someone to strike you with a stick, you would see just how...
I believe you, but Stangerel, please, could you remind him about my money?
Oh, have no fear. Of course he'll pay you.
But you, Stangerel, you owe me nothing in your own right.
No need to talk about that.
How?
Of course, I know that I owe you.
Yes.
Come on, Monsieur Dimanche, let me light you to the door.
But my money?
Later, Monsieur Dimanche.
Come
now.
I hear.
Nonsense.
But.
Enough, sir. Home, sir, as fast as you can.
Sir, your father has arrived.
Oh, that's all I need. Oh, I'm losing my mind.
I see my arrival has inconvenienced you and that you would be happier if I'd stayed away. To tell you the truth, we are, in fact, inconveniencing each other. Believe me, if you are tired of seeing me, I am also very tired of your behavior. How would you expect God to respond if instead of following his guidance and letting his laws govern our future, we insist on letting our greed govern us, where we annoy him with our blind wishes and our ill-considered requests? It is, of course, my fault entirely. I wished for a son with unparalleled ardor. I asked for it relentlessly. Indeed, I begged. Now, this son whom I was granted by tiring God with my demands is the sorrow and the torment of this very life, which I believed should be the joy and the consolation of my advancing years. How should I, in your opinion, view this mass of unworthy actions, the smell of which one as terrible in the eyes of the world, covering up this continual series of disgraceful acts which have reduced us on several occasions to beg the sovereign's kindness, and which have exhausted the merit of my services and the credit of my friends with him? What baseness you show! Do you not blush to so debase your birthright? Have you not discarded the right to take any pride in it? And what have you done done in the world to earn your position as a gentleman? Do you believe that it is enough to inherit the name and the arms, where your only true claim to the title derives from your lineage, and that having attained the title, you can then behave as infamously as you please? No, birth has no value in the absence of virtue. We share in the glory of our ancestors only insofar as we strive to resemble them, in the brilliance that their actions spread over us imposes on us a duty to do them the same honor, to follow the steps they trace for us, and not to disgrace their virtue. If we want to be deemed their true descendants, thus, although you may claim descent from the ancestors from whom you were born, they disown you as being of their blood, and you may not bask in their illustriousness. On the contrary, their brilliance only shows up your dishonor, and their glory is a torch that illuminates the shame of your actions in the eyes of the world. Finally, learn that a gentleman who lives badly is a monster by nature, that virtue is the first title of nobility, that I pay much less attention to the name one signs than to the actions one performs, and that I would make more of a case for the son of a tailor who was an honest man than for the son of a monarch who lived like you.
If you were seated, sir, you would be more comfortable talking.
No, you insolent puppy. I don't want to sit down or talk to you any longer. I see that all my words do nothing to your soul, but know, unworthy son, that paternal tenderness and forgiveness are pushed to the limit by your actions. I will know sooner than you think how to put an end to your depravity, to forestall the wrath of heaven upon you, and to wash away by suitable punishment the shame of having given birth to you.
Hey, the best you can do is to die as soon as you can. Everyone must have their own turn, and it's infuriating to see fathers who live as long as their sons.
Yeah, sir, you're wrong.
I am wrong, am I?
Sir.
I wrong?
Yes, sir, you're wrong to have endured what he told you. You should have thrown him out on his ear. Has anyone ever seen anything more impertinent? A father coming to remonstrate with his son and tell him to correct his actions, to remember his birth, to lead an honest life, and so much more ridiculous nonsense. Should that be suffered by a man like you who knows how to live? Oh, I admire your patience, and if I had been in your place, I would have sent him packing. Oh, God, listen to me grovel. Look at what I'm reduced to.
Will they make my supper soon?
Sir, there's a lady who has come to speak to you. She's veiled.
Who could it be?
Oh, there's only one way to find out.
Don't be surprised, Don Juan, to see me at this time and in this disguise. I have a pressing reason which compels me to visit you, and what I have to say to you can be delayed no longer. I don't come here full of that wrath demanding revenge. You see me much changed from what I was this morning. I am no longer the Elvira who swore to get even with you and whose betrayed heart threatened and breathed only vengeance. Heaven has banished from my soul all the unworthy ardor that I felt for you, all the tumultuous transports of a criminal attachment, all these shameful outbursts of a gross earthly love. And it is left in my heart nothing more for you than a flame purified of all intercourse with the senses and all holy tenderness, a love detached from everything, which does not act for itself and only worries about your well-being and the safety of your soul.
Are you crying?
It is this perfect and pure your love that brings me here for your good, to give you advice from heaven, and to try to turn you from the precipice towards which you are running. Yes, Don Juan, I know of all the irregularities in your life. And this same heaven, which touched my heart and made me cast my eyes on the errors of my conduct, has inspired me to come to you and tell you on his behalf that your offenses have exhausted his mercy. His terrible anger is ready to fall on you, but you have it in your power to avoid it by an immediate repentance. Perhaps you have only one day left in which you can escape the greatest of all misfortunes. For me, I no longer care for you anymore. I have turned, thank heaven, from all my crazy thoughts. I have resolved to expiate the fault I have committed and to deserve by an austere penance forgiveness of the blindness into which passion has plunged me. But in this retirement, I would endure a great sorrow if a person whom I cherish tenderly should become a fatal victim of the justice of heaven. And it will be an incredible joy to me if I can divert the blow which threatens you. Please, oh Don Juan, grant me as one last favor this consolation. Don't deny me your welcome, and I beg you with tears in my eyes. If you cannot be driven by your own interest, at least be touched by my prayers, and spare me the cruelty of seeing you condemned to eternal tortures.
Oh, the poor woman.
I loved you with extreme tenderness. Nothing in the world has been so dear to me as you, and in my selfishness, I forgot my duty to you. I have done everything for you, and all the reward I ask of you is for you to correct your life and prevent your loss. Run away, I beg you, either for love of you or for love of me. Again, Don Juan, I ask you, with tears in my eyes, and if the tears of a person you have loved are not enough, I implore you by whatever is most capable of touching you.
Tiger heart.
I will leave after this speech. That is all I have to say to you.
Madam, it's late. Stay here. We will accommodate you here as best we can.
No, Don Juan, don't detain me any longer.
Madam, it will please me if you were to stay, I assure you.
No, I tell you, I will waste no more time in futile pleading. Let me go quickly. Do not try to follow me. Instead, I beg you to think only of taking advantage of my heartfelt advice to save your immortal soul.
Do you know, Sganarelle, that I still felt something for her? I must confess this strange novelty was appealing. Her neglected clothing, her languid air, her tears awakened in me remnants of an extinguished fire.
Yeah, that's to say her words had no effect on you.
Enough! Quickly, to dinner.
Very well.
Sganarelle, perhaps think about changing our ways.
Oh, do you think so, Master?
Yes, indeed. I do believe we must redeem ourselves. Another 20 or 30 years of this life, and then we'll see what we can do.
Yo.
What do you say?
Oh, I won't hold my breath then. Oh, here's dinner. Oh,
That stuffed in your cheek? Come, what is it?
Nothing.
Show me. Goodness me, you have some sort of growth in your cheek. Quick, knife to pierce it. Dear me, the poor boy is suffering too much. The abscess will, that abscess will choke him. Oh, hold on. It has burst itself. Ah, the rascal that you are.
Sir, I wanted to see if your cook might have put too much salt or pepper in the food.
Come now, sit down and eat. I'll deal with you when I've had my supper. You're hungry, I see.
Oh, indeed I am, sir. I haven't eaten since this morning. Oh, try that. That's the best in the world. A plate for me now, please. Ah, Violette, you know how to serve the wine. Yep.
Now, who so loudly at this time?
Who disturbs us at our meal?
Ah, I want to have supper in peace. Let no one in.
Leave it to me. I'll deal with it. Oh, God.
What is it? What is it?
It's at the door.
Oh, I will see to it. Nothing can frighten me.
Oh, poor SGANARELLE, where will you hide?
A chair and cutlery, quickly. Come, sit down to table.
Sir, I'm not hungry anymore.
Dare I tell you? Drink. To the health of the commander. Come, SGANARELLE. Get yourself some wine.
Sir, I'm not thirsty.
Sing a song to entertain the commander.
Oh, I have a cold, sir.
Oh, I don't care. Let's go. You, people, join with him.
Enough, Don Juan. I invite you to come tomorrow to have supper with me. Will you have the courage?
Yes, I will go. SGANARELLE, you will accompany me.
I thank you, but tomorrow is a fast day for me.
Take this torch and light the commander's way.
One does not need a torch when one is led by the light of heaven's beams.
Act 5. In the country near the city.
What? My son, is it possible that the bounty of heaven has granted my wishes? Is what you tell me really true? You are you not, I trust, deceiving me with false hope? Can I be assured that this conversation is real despite its surprising novelty?
Yes, I confess all my mistakes. I am no longer the same as I was yesterday, and heaven has changed me in ways that will surprise everyone. My soul has been touched and my eyes opened. Now, I look with horror at the long blindness in which I have lingered and the criminal disorders of the life that I have led. I go over all the abominations in my mind and am amazed how heaven has been able to suffer them so long and has not dropped the blows of its formidable justice 20 times on my head. I see the graces that his goodness has bestowed on me by not punishing me for my crimes, and I claim to take advantage of them as I should, to bring a sudden change in my life to the world's eyes, where thereby to repair the scandal of my present actions, my past actions, I should say. I will strive to obtain full remission from heaven. That's what I'm going to work on. And I beg you, sir, to be good enough to contribute to this plan and to help me yourself to choose a person who will serve as my guide and under whose guidance I can walk surely in the path in which I am going.
Ah, my son, how easily the tenderness of a father is recalled and how quickly the offenses of a son vanish at the slightest word of repentance. I have forgotten all the annoyances you have given me, and everything is erased by the words you have just spoken to me. I confess, I shed tears of joy. All my wishes are satisfied, and henceforth I have nothing more to ask of heaven. Embrace me, my son, and persist. I conjure you in this laudable behavior. As for me, I am going right now to carry the happy news to your mother, to share with her my delight in your recovery, and to give thanks to heaven for the holy resolutions which he deigned to inspire in you.
Sir, how happy I am to see you converted. I've been waiting for this for a long time, and at last you have achieved it. Thank heaven all my wishes have been fulfilled.
A plague on you, simpleton.
What do you mean, simpleton?
What, you actually thought that what I have just said was worth a sou? You believe that I spoke my true feelings?
What? It's not, you don't, you're, oh, I don't believe it. What a man, what a man.
No, I haven't changed. My feelings are the same.
You haven't been convinced by the miracle of this walking, talking statue?
Well, there's something in there that I don't understand. But whatever it may be, it doesn't convince my mind, nor does it shake my soul. And if I said that I wanted to correct my behavior and throw myself into an exemplary lifestyle, that's only a plan that I have espoused out of pure politics, a useful stratagem, a necessary artifice with which I must constrain myself to spare a father whose good favor I need, and to protect me from 100 unfortunate fates that could befall me. I am happy, Sganarelle, to confide my true feelings to you. Indeed, I am very glad to have a witness to the real depths of my soul and the real motives which compel me to act.
What, you don't believe anything at all, yet you still want to present yourself as a good man?
Oh, and why not? There are so many others like me who meddle with the hopes and loves of others and who use the same mask to deceive the world.
I don't believe it. What a man, what a man.
There's no more shame in that now. Hypocrisy is a fashionable vice, and all fashionable vices pass for virtues. The good man character is the best of all the characters you can play. Today, the profession of hypocrite has marvelous advantages. It is an art whose imposture is always respected. And although we discover it, we dare not say anything against it. All the other vices of men are exposed to censure, and everyone has the freedom to attack them openly. But hypocrisy is a privileged vice, which by dint of its very existence shuts everyone's mouth and enjoys sovereign impunity in peace. One binds, by way of outward appearances, a close society with all like-minded people. Anyone who shocks one of us attracts us to all of them, and those who are even known to act in good faith on this, and whom everybody knows to be truly affected, those, I say, are always the dupes of others. They simply give in to all the posturing and blindly support the donkeys with their actions. Do you realize just how many I know who, by this stratagem, have skillfully dressed up the disorders of their youth, who made a shield of the mantle of religion, and under this respected habit have permission to be the most evil men in the world? No matter how much we know of their intrigues and know them for what they are, they do not fail to be in credit among the people for that. And a simple lowering of the head, a mortified sigh, 2 rolls of the eyes convince the world that they are good. Good men. It is to conceal my true spirit within this favorable shelter that I want to run away and put my things in safety. I will not quit my sweet habits, but I will take care to hide myself and to amuse myself quietly, so that if I come to be discovered, it will be assumed without doing anything on my part that my interests are simply those from the whole cabal, and I will be defended by them against all odds. Anyway, that's the real way to do whatever I want with impunity. I will set myself up as the censor of the actions of others. I will judge everyone badly, and will only have a good opinion of myself. As soon as someone once shocks me even a little, I will never forgive him and will maintain an irreconcilable hatred. I will become the avenger of the interests of heaven. And under this convenient pretext, I will push my enemies. I will accuse them of impiety, and I will unleash against them all the indiscreet zealots who, without even knowing the cause, will humiliate them in public, bury them with insults, and damn them loudly for their private behavior. Thus, I will take advantage of the weaknesses of men. And now you see how a wise mind accommodates itself to the vices of its century.
Oh, heavens. What am I hearing? All you need is hypocrisy to complete your catalogue of abominations. Oh, sir, this last one is too much. I have to say something. Do whatever you please to me, beat me, knock me out, kill me if you want, but as your faithful servant, I must unburden my heart and speak truth to you. Know, sir, that a jug will only hold so much water and then it breaks. A wise man once said, man is like a bird on a branch. The precepts are worth more than the fine words. Fine words are found out. Oh, the bird on a branch. The branch is attached to the tree, and whoever clings to the tree follows good precepts. Good precepts are worth more than fine words. Fine words are found at court, and at court are the courtiers. Courtiers follow the fashion. Fashion comes from fantasy. Fantasy is a faculty of the soul, and soul, it's what gives us life. Life ends the death. Death reminds us of heaven. The sky is above the earth. The land is not the sea. The sea is subject to storms. Storms torment ships. Ships need a good pilot. A good pilot has prudence. Prudence is not in young people. Young people owe obedience to old people. The old love riches. Riches make the rich. The rich are not poor. The poor have need. Necessity has no law. He who has no law lives like a brute beast, and consequently you will be damned to all the devils.
Now there's extraordinary logic for you.
Well, after that, if you don't surrender, it'll just be too bad for you.
Don Juan, well met. I am very happy to speak to you here rather than at home to ask you what you've decided. You know that your decision particularly concerns me and that I have taken charge of the negotiations. I make no bones about it. I earnestly hope that things will go smoothly. There is nothing that I will not do to induce your mind to take this course and to see you publicly confirm my sister as your wife.
Alas, I would very much like with all my heart to give you the satisfaction you desire, but heaven directly opposes it. He inspired in my soul a plan to change my life, and I have no other thought now than to leave entirely all the attachments of the world, to strip myself as soon as possible of all vanities, and to correct henceforth, by adopting an austere conduct, all the criminal excesses to which the fire of blind youth has carried me.
This admirable goal, Don Juan, does not clash with what I demand. After all, the company of a lawful wife will fit perfectly into the goal heaven inspires in you.
Alas, not at all. Your sister herself has now adopted a similar goal. She has decided to go into a retreat. Indeed, we were both inspired by heaven at the same time.
We cannot be satisfied by her retirement. The world would blame her action on the contempt you have shown her, indeed, shown all her family. Our honor demands that she live with you.
Alas, it cannot be. If it were up to me, I would wish for nothing more, but heaven stepped in, and when I consulted it, I heard a voice which told me that I must not think of your sister, and that joining with her would not ensure my salvation.
Do you seriously think that we will fall for these fine excuses?
I obey the voice of heaven.
And you think I will be satisfied with that?
Is heaven's will.
You took my sister from her convent and then left her.
Heaven so orders.
And we're expected to just accept the stain on our family.
Take it up with heaven.
Again, heaven, always the great excuse.
Heaven wishes it.
Enough, Don Juan, I hear you. Here is not the right place to settle this, but settled it must be. So be warned, when the time is right, I will find you, and this business will indeed be settled.
You will do what you want. You know that I am not lacking in heart, and that I know how to use my sword when necessary. Now, I am going to walk up this lane that leads to the convent. I don't want to fight you. Indeed, heaven forbids me even the thought of it. But if you attack me, you will see the result.
We will see. Yes, we will see.
Oh, sir, what the devil are you trying to do? I mean, this is going way too far. You were bad before, but this is so much worse. I never thought I'd ever say this, but I preferred you the way you were. I was hoping for your salvation, but now I despair of it. And I do believe that heaven, which has suffered you up till now, will not be able to tolerate this last horror at all.
I'll give over. Heaven is not so fussy as you think. Why, if all the times that men had...
Oh, sir, look, heaven is speaking to you. It's giving you advice.
So, heaven wants to give me advice, does it? Well, it'll have to speak a little more clearly if it wants me to hear it.
Don Juan only has a moment left to be able to profit from the mercy of heaven. And if he does not repent here and now, the wrath of heaven will fall on him and he will be lost.
Do you hear, sir?
Who dares speak these words? I think I know that voice.
Yeah, sir, it's a ghost. I can tell by the way it floats.
Spectre, ghost, or devil, I want to see what it is.
Oh, heaven. Do you see, sir, what it's become? Time, complete with his scythe.
No, nothing is capable of terrorizing me. I need to test with my sword whether it is a body or a spirit.
Yeah, sir. Accept what is happening and throw yourself on heaven's mercy.
No, it will not be said, whatever happens, that I am willing to repent. Come, follow me.
Stop, Don Juan. Yesterday you gave me your word that you would come and eat with me.
Oh, yes, of course. Where will we go?
Give me your hand.
Here you are.
Don Juan, living a sinful life inevitably leads to a disastrous death, but the grace of heaven that persists offers a path to salvation.
Oh, heaven, what do I feel? An invisible fire burns me. I can't stand any longer. And my whole body seems burning and in fire. Ah!
Oh, my wages, my wages. At least everyone is satisfied by his death. Heaven that he offended, the laws he violated, the girls he seduced, the families he dishonored, the parents he outraged, the wives he harmed, and the husbands pushed to the limit. Everybody's happy, except me. I alone am unhappy. My wages, my wages, my wages.
End of play. And the grand. All righty. Wow. Bravo, everyone. That was a lot of reading, wasn't it, Drew and Angus?
It's quite contemporary in some of its aspects, actually.
Yeah. I love some of the stuff about doctors. That was pretty
Yes, I mean he just said, all right, next bit I'm going to hit the medics and those charlatans, and now I'm going to hit this, and now I'm going to hit this. It was actually very popular.
Yeah,
In
imagine.
its time. It was really good. It's hardly ever done since.
Yeah. Well, we have Don Giovanni, I suppose.
Well, yeah.
You want to hear
It does lack Mozart, but then it have people like Lully and all those.
Yeah.
Yeah, this play was banished a number of times, then it came back.
Oh yeah,
banished,
that's right.
Let's go.
And he had to.
Molière, he was always defending himself.
We don't.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not sure that we know which is the correct version. This is the one that one dug up, but it was banned, so he edited it and he cut it, and then it was okay, and then somebody got pissed off at it, so it was banned again, and he changed it again. So I'm not quite sure which this version I translated is, but it's got all the main points.
Well, does
Yeah.
it always end with him burning?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. I know. I realized later I maybe should have read that.
Yeah.
You
Nobody.
know?